magwat lang ta sa iyo.
Pwede tayo mag-start na? Pilma, can we start? Good morning.
Yes, sir. Nandiyan na si Doc Suset.
Okay. Sige. We'll start.
Okay, good morning everyone. Good morning. Okay, welcome participants to our virtual training workshop on online training course for capacity building in agriculture. Before we'll start the program, let me greet first. A good morning to our SUC ACAP executive officers, spearheaded by Dr. Edgardo E. Turlin. We have also the Vice Presidents, Dr. Honorio M. Soriano Jr. of Pampanga State University, Dr. Pros Ivy Yepes of Southern Leyte State University, Dr. Francisco Gil Garcia of University of Southern Mindanao, and the rest of the SUC ACAP executive officers. May I also greet a good morning to our partners in this workshop, Dr. Fernando Sanchez Jr., Chancellor of UPLB, Dr. Elpidio M. Agbisit Jr., the Dean of the College of Agriculture and Food Science in UPLB, and Dr. Filma C. Calalo, the in charge of the capacity building in agriculture. And also to our partners in the Philippine Association of Agriculturists Incorporated, with the chairman, Dr. Roberto Ranula, and the president, Dr. Rosalina Lapitan. Good morning once again. And by the way, I would like also to greet everyone, Dr. Lualhati M. Noriel, our director for this LEA program, and to the different coordinators as the clusters, we have three clusters, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, and the different subcluster coordinators. Now, before we will start the program, let's have first the, please be reminded of the following house rules. Okay, so first, let's turn off our gadgets or put it on silent mode. Listen and show respect to the speakers. Cooperate and do all the activities assigned to us, and be active, participate, and speak up if you want to. So to start with, let's have the prayer, and this will be followed by the Philippine National Anthem by the Secretariat.
Let us put ourselves in the holy presence of God. Father in heaven, always merciful and giver of life, we humbly ask that you bless each one of us, from the speakers, program committees, guests, and participants. Guide us to make better decisions as we incorporate what we will learn throughout this activity. Thank you for the infinite blessings and countless opportunities. Lord, today as we start our activity, may we always be grateful to learn new things. Shed the light of your wisdom and bless each one, especially our speakers, as they will share their knowledge to us. Through your mercy and grace, may peace and utmost understanding shine and dwell unto us. Almighty God, accompany each one and help us concentrate for us to gain more knowledge as we listen attentively. This we ask in your name. Amen.
Okay, may I call in Dr. Edgardo Itulin for an inspirational message. Dr. Tulin.
Dr. Fernando Sanchez Jr., Chancellor of UPLB, Dean Elpidio Agbisit, the Dean of the College of Agriculture and Food Science of UPLB, Chancellor Melinda Bandalaria, the Chancellor of the Open University of UPLB, Dr. Filma Calalo of UPLB as our CLIA coordinator in this training, Dr. Soriano of Pampanga State Agricultural University, our Vice President in Luzon, Dr. Pros Ivy Yepes, Vice President for Visayas, and Dr. Hil Garcia, Vice President for Mindanao of SUC-ACAP, the EXECO members of the Association of Colleges of Agriculture of the Philippines, Dr. Nuriel, our National Coordinator of this online training course, our coordinators, the cluster and subcluster coordinators who are also attending this training, our resource persons from UPLB and from UP Open University, the faculty and staff, the faculty of the SUC-ACAP member institutions who are present here, and all the others who are attending this training. Good morning, maayong buntag, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. I welcome you all to the very first training course on capacity building of agriculture faculty experts in the entire Philippines, aimed at improving the performance of our agriculture graduates in the PRC licensure examination. This is a milestone gained by SUC-ACAP, as this also emphasizes our solidarity in helping each other improve our performance in the licensure examination for agriculturists. This pandemic has presented to us many challenges and has accentuated the importance of agriculture in food security and economy. Now more than ever, we are called to respond to this need by providing our country with globally competitive human resource, our agriculture graduates, who are equipped with the adequate skills, competencies, and qualifications in responding to a crisis like this. To fill this need, SUK ACAP Incorporated has initiated plans to have a unified system of providing review service to our graduates. The aim is to improve the overall performance of our graduates in the licensure examination for agriculture. The idea behind this is that we help each other fill gaps in terms of materials and our field of expertise. Through this, opportunity for the exchange of ideas and best practices that will help address our objective. At the same time, this endeavor strengthens camaraderie and fosters collaborations among our member institutions. The entire course has been designed to strategically address gaps so as to improve the performance of our graduates in the board exams. Through this capacity building exercise, SUK ACAP Incorporated aims to enhance the capabilities of our faculty experts in the conduct of review classes, produce a harmonized version of all the resources that all member SUKs are using, and because we are also responding to one of the biggest challenges brought by this pandemic, the offering of online review service for our graduates. These are areas which I think SUK ACAP is pioneering. This is even more laudable because through our cooperation, dedication, and commitment to serve, we were able to bring this fruition despite the many obstacles brought by this pandemic. This whole exercise has been made possible through our partnership with UPLB, through Chancellor Fernando C. Sanchez Jr., the Chancellor of UPLB, the Dean Elpidio Agbisit, Chancellor Mel Bandelaria, Dr. Filma Calalo, and colleagues of UPLB and UP Open University, and also through the Philippine Association of Agriculturists, headed by Dr. Rosalina Lapitan and Dr. Bert Renyola, and of course to all of us, member of the SUK ACAP, as well as members of the EGSECOM and our Secretariat. My dear faculty experts, let us take advantage of this opportunity to further enhance our knowledge and skills so that we will be more equipped and ready to help our graduates improve their chances of gaining one of the most important qualifications to practice our profession, a professional licensed agriculturist from PRC. Again, I welcome you all to the online training course for capacity building in agriculture, and I wish that all of us will have an engaging and fruitful experience. Thank you so much, and good morning again.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Tolin, for that very warm and inspiring message. So basically, Dr. Tolin expressed to us or discussed to us the aim of this workshop, which is to fill the gaps to improve the overall performance of our graduates in preparation for them to take the licensure exam and to enhance the capacity of our faculty to effectively deliver the online classes. Now, let's hear another inspirational message from the Chancellor of the UPLB, Dr. Fernando C. Sanchez Jr.
Good morning, everyone. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Of course, to the chair of the SUK ACAP, President Ed Tulin of the Visayas State University, President Jun Soriano of the Pampanga State Agricultural University, and to all SUC-AKAP officers. Good morning. To the Dean of the UPLB College of Agriculture and Food Science, Dr. Elpidio Agbisit Jr., to our coordinator, Dr. Filma Calalo, to all our hardworking SUC presidents attending and supporting us today. Mabuhay po kayong lahat. To our resource persons, of course, a good friend and neighbor, Chancellor Melinda Bandelaria of the UP Open University. Mel, maraming salamat. And Dr. Blanda Sumayaw. And to everyone joining us today, faculty members of various state universities and colleges, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. As all of you know, I will be ending my second term as UPLB Chancellor this October 31, 2020. And I'm handing it over to the 10th Chancellor of UPLB, to Dr. Jose Camacho Jr. That is why I know our program is in safe hands with Dean Pids and Dr. Filma Calalo at its helm. So tuloy-tuloy lang tayo even with the changeover. So Filma, you know, tuloy lang tayo to capacitate our SUCs. It will not end. As educators and as agriculturists, we know and cannot emphasize more the fundamental role of agriculture towards a nation's growth. That is why it is critical that despite the challenges of COVID-19, we must continue to find ways to train and prepare agriculture students for the agricultural licensure exam. Today's webinar is part of the project Enhancing Capability of Reviewers in the Licensure Examination for Agriculture, a joint endeavor between the UPLB College of Agriculture and Food Science and the State University and Colleges Association of Colleges of Agriculture in the Philippines, or SUC-AKAP, with the aim to help enhance fellow SUC educators to develop review materials, as well as to hold online review classes for agricultural licensure exam. I also want to announce that last September 24, 2020, the creation of the UPLB Office of Institutional Development for Higher Education was approved by the Board of Regents of UP. Meaning we have UPLB now has an office that will formally or proactively engage our SUC brothers and sisters in what assistance they need from UPLB. Hindi na po kayo ang lalapit sa amin, kami na po ang lalapit sa inyo kung ano pong kailangan na assistance nyo. Ito pong opisina nito is formally created to address this need, especially on our niche programs in agriculture, forestry, environmental science, engineering, veterinary science, or whatever niche program UPLB has to offer and share with our brothers and sisters na SUCs. So the Office of Institutional Development for Higher Education was created and created. The pandemic, which has made remote learning necessary in the first place, has also shown us how critical agriculturists and the agricultural sector are to our country's economic stability. While our country's service and manufacturing industry stumbled due to COVID-19, our country's agricultural sector remained standing strong enough to even register a growth during this particularly challenging time. Our country is greatly in need of more professional agriculturists who will work together with farmers, fisher folks, and other stakeholders that can help strengthen and improve Philippine agriculture. It is therefore our responsibility as educators to ensure that our students become those professional agriculturists by passing their licensure exam. While the experience of holding face-to-face classes will not be the same as holding classes online, this does not mean that remote or blended learning is ineffective or restrictive. Our resource persons will show you how you can conduct remote review and assessment sessions that are not only informative but also engaging. In this regard, I'd like to commend today's organizers, the UPLB College of Agriculture and Food Science, and SUK-AKAP for holding a timely and important training seminar designed to better equip and train our fellow educators to the challenges of remote teaching. To my fellow educators, I encourage you to listen attentively to our resource persons and to please do not hesitate to ask them questions if you have some. I wish you all an insightful and inspiring morning. Marami pong salamat at mabuhay po tayong lahat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chancellor Sanchez, for your solid support to our program. And thank you also for that good news that you have now a new office to assist other SUKs offering not only agriculture, but also other equally important programs and fields. Now to formally introduce our participants, may I call in Dr. Luwalhati M. Noriel, our LEA Program Coordinator. Ma'am.
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. So I am assigned to introduce the participants by cluster. But before I do that, I would like to say good morning, most especially to our very own President, Dr. Tulin, who is also the President of AKAP, to Chancellor Sanchez of UPLB, Dean Agbisit, to SUC AKAP officers, and of course, to our resource person, who will be introduced later by Dr. Calalo. And also I would like to greet Dr. Calalo, who is the prime mover behind this online training course for the capacity building in agriculture. I also would like to say thank you to our 3 coordinators from Luzon, Dr. Ariel Mactal, Visayas, Dr. Angel Baldos, Mindanao, Dr. Maria Estela Ditalia, who really work hard to coordinate with the different subcluster coordinators under their respective area of assignment. So as of last night, in Luzon cluster, we have a total of 31 institutions out of 41 which responded with a total participants of 313. For the Visayas cluster, out of 18 SUCs, we have 14 that responded with a total participants at 136. For the Mindanao cluster, out of 15, we have 10 SUCs which responded to this online training with a total number of 59 participants for summary of total of 508 participants from the three clusters, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, as of last night. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Noriel, for that warm introduction to our participants. Now, to introduce to us our resource persons, may I call in Dr. Filma C. Calalo, the SUK AKAP Capability Building Project Coordinator, Co-Coordinator at CAPS UPLB. Ma'am Fel?
Yeah. Thank you, Doc Suzette. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to our Chancellor, Chancellor Sanchez, to our guest speaker today, Chancellor Mel Bandelaria, President Tulin, our very own Dean Agbisit, and to all executive officers of the SUK-AKAP, and of course, our partner, the PAA. Pleasant good morning again to everybody, and I am pleased to have been given this task of introducing to you our resource person for this training component of our collaborative undertaking between the SUK-AKAP and the College of Agriculture and Food Science here in UPLB on enhancing the capability of the Faculty of Agriculture and agriculture-related disciplines in member SUCs. Not so long ago, our world was turned upside down by the emergence of COVID-19, and this has been a major concern for many higher education institutions. The pressure of having to rapidly transition courses to an online learning environment had been a major source of stress for many of us. And during those times, we all sang the same song. Yes, the theme of the Ghostbusters movie, Who You Gonna Call? Our resource person this morning is one of those who responded to these calls on how best to keep up with the sudden switch from a live classroom to an online one. Grazing one Zoom meeting to another, one webinar meeting to another, and she probably lost count of already of how many Zooms and webinars she attended. Sharing content planning, preparation of planning, learning resources, designing learning activities, use of online tools and technology, discussing online assessments, establishing learner support and other scaffolds for students, online quality assurance, and anything online, we have our woman, except of course from online shopping. At this time, when reviews for licensure board exams are already supposed to be grinding, we are again confronted by the reality that face-to-face review is undeniably not possible. Now again, we face new pressures to provide a more engaging, motivating, and effective teaching and learning experiences for both our licensure takers and our faculty reviewers. And online delivery mode is the only option. Once again, we sing our song, Who You Gonna Call? Our speakers' more than a decade long of academic and research experiences and accomplishments, not to mention recognitions in the field of open and distance learning here and abroad, speak of her credibility as the expert to call back in. So whether you are in animal science, agricultural economics, agricultural extension, crop science, crop protection, or soil science, you stand to benefit from what our speaker has in store for us today and the coming days. And I wish to take this opportunity to thank our speaker for accepting this invitation despite her really very busy schedule. So dear audience, please help me in welcoming UPOU Chancellor and Professor, our very own Dr. Melinda Mel Bandalaria.
Maraming salamat, Dr. Filma, at sa ating mga opisyales ng iba't ibang university na kasama natin sa kasalukuyan. Chancellor Dindo, maraming salamat. Baka hindi na ako magkaroon ng pagkakataon na pasalamatan ka sa lahat ng naging tulong mo sa UPOU. Sa panahon na ikaw ay Chancellor, para siyang isang kuya sa UPOU. UPLB really acted like a big brother to UPOU. Kaya naman when Filma sent me the invitation to be part of this online review, wala pong pasubali ang aking pag-yes sa kanya. Sa Dr. Tulin, magandang umaga din po sa inyo at sa iba pang mga opisyales ng SUC AKAP, pati na rin sa ating kaibigan na si Dean Pids Agbisit. So magsisimula po tayo ngayong araw na to sa ating review session. Not to mention, of course, me being part of UPOU, but I am also a proud graduate of it was then called College of Agriculture. So more or less, I am also familiar with the topics that will be discussed. My major is in agronomy, plant breeding. That's for my undergraduate degree. So I look forward to the session today and until I think 19 October. I really have to do it personally. Although at UPOU, we really I have assigned people to attend to different requests for training, being resource persons. But for this particular training program, I said I will be handling it personally. So I also thank our colleagues at SUC AKAP for accommodating also my schedule, because that's the only available time that I can give immediately. So I look forward to doing this review session, and also it's a privilege to be part of this very worthy initiative. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat.
Okay. Thank you very much, Doc. Chancellor Mel, the technical support is requesting if we can have a group photo first.
Kindly open po the cameras of all panelists for the photo op. Ma'am Sheng, are you okay, Ma'am Sheng?
Ma'am Sheng, yung mo.
Baka po atang nawalan daw po siya ng signal. I just don't know kung naka-in po siya ulit.
Nagdadrive si Ma'am Sheng.
Nawalan po siya ng signal sabi niya kanina.
Chancellor, photo op. Ayan.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Ay, si Ma'am Sheng, wait lang po. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Take it away, Dr. Mel.
Is it the same link that we will be using for the 9 o'clock review?
Yes, Chancy. Diretso ka lang.
Dire-diretso na. So,
Yes.
but I think the 9 o'clock group is for pangalan nito,
Animal science.
Animal science, for the
Yes.
animal science group. Okay, sige. But before we start, because it's not yet 9 o'clock, I also would like to give this opportunity na mag-break din muna yung mga participants natin, because although there will be breaks in between topics, go get yourself water, coffee, whatever, to prepare ourselves for the session. Akala ko kasi ibang ano pa yung ating ibang link pa yung gagamitin natin, but I'm ready naman.
Okay.
I'll just get also my water preparation for the lecture. Okay?
The break will be good, Chancy. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, sige. Thank you.
Filma,
Yes po.
mukha kang
Yes,
batang-bata dyan.
Oo, syempre.
Wala kang
Chan-
stress.
Sir, yung ba namang ma-lockdown ka simula nung Marso? Oh, parang ikaw lang.
Sige, thank you Thank you for
Yes, sir.
the commitment here. Sige.
Yes, thank you din, Chansey, sa support.
Okay. Thank
Photo
you.
finish.
Hindi, but nandito na tayo. Tuloy-tuloy lang.
Yes.
Thank you to support, Chancellor, ha?
Oo. Paano naman ako, lilipat naman ako isang meeting sa BOR naman, yung bagong office namin, security office.
Thank you very much, Chancellor.
Daming office, ha?
Hindi, kasi mga initiative yun early on, hinahabol, na pending sa board kaya kailangan kong i-engage. Yung security office, nandun ang fire protection, security, DRR. So, one office na lang. So, sige.
Thank you, Chansey.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Chansey.
Okay, good luck everyone. Sige, Pids. Filma.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
While waiting for Ma'am Mel, can we have some commercial? Kat?
Commercial.
Intermission muna si Filma.
Papakantay natin, sir.
Tayo muna natin.
Oh, kumanta na ako kanina. Who you gonna call?
Where is that song?
Ghostbusters.
Sabi mo, ano daw we sing the same song. So what is that song?
Yeah. Oh, di nanood si President. Ghostbusters. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters.
Sample nga, sample.
Ah.
Ma'am Fel,
Set.
Dr. Calalo.
Ay.
Can we announce the schedule or remind again the schedule, ma'am? No, regarding
sure.
the flow of component 1.
Go ahead, Doc Suzette.
Okay. Okay, so while waiting for the first topic, okay, may I remind again that in this session, this is for component 1. So actually in this training workshop, we have 5 components. And for component 1, we have 2 important topics. Okay, so for this week, okay, starting today, our day 1, at 9 to 12, the animal science group is scheduled for an online lecture on innovative teaching methods and tools designed for online review classes by Dr. Melinda Bandalaria. And then the other groups may leave the Zoom, and they will come back for the agricultural economics group. They will have the online lecture at 2 to 5 p.m. today. Then for the agricultural extension group, you have your online lecture tomorrow, day 2 at 9 to 12. And then for the crop science group, tomorrow again at 2 to 5 p.m. Then the workshop will resume for crop science protection group on Thursday. That's our day 3 for component 1 at 9 to 12 noon. And day 4, October 19 na naman for the soil science group. That's next week, Monday at 2 to 5 p.m. Then for part 2, so we will have the part 2, the topic 2 that will start on October 26. So ang soil science na naman ang mauna at 9 to 12. And then crop science at 2 to 5 the same day. That's October 6. Then October 27 for the agricultural economics and crop protection groups at 9 to 12 and 2 to 5 p.m. respectively. Then for the agricultural extension on October 29, 9 to 12, and animal science group at 9 to 12 on October 30. So that's for component 1.
Component.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Doc Suzette. Chancellor Mel, before I completely give you the floor, may I please inform you that we have assigned subject area specialists for each session, and so and also support staff. So for this particular session, Dr. Romel Sulabo, Director of the Institute of Animal Science, will be joining the group together with his support staff, Miss Kamla.
Okay.
Thank
Sure.
you.
Okay, so I guess may mga nakalagay dito sa chat. So do we need to leave the group na meeting now since animal science na ang susunod? I guess yes. The answer is yes. Yeah. O yun, may sagot na. Only animal science group shall remain for the first session. Okay, so I guess all the participants for the first session are here with us already. Tama ba ako, Dr. Filma? All participants for the animal
Yes.
science group are here
Yes,
with us already.
Yes, Chansey. Apo.
Okay, so sige. So so we can start the session now. And again, isang magandang umaga sa ating lahat. And as I have mentioned earlier, it is a privilege to be joining you in this initiative of conducting the review session, the training for our reviewers online. So again, it is something that UPOU is doing. Even before the lockdown, UPOU has been committed to helping other universities, other educational institutions who are interested to do online teaching and learning. This is part of our mandate as one of the constituent units of the National University, the University of the Philippines, under RA 9500, and also part of our mandate under the Republic Act 10650, which is the Open Distance Learning Act. So under that law, in addition to our mandate as part of UP, that law, the Open Distance Learning Act, mandated the UP Open University to provide assistance both to CHED and TESDA so that HEIs, SUCs and other HEIs, and technical vocational institutions who are interested to offer their programs in the distance e-learning mode, online mode, or the first generation distance education can be provided with the technical assistance. So ito po yung ginagawa namin, and we further strengthen this form of assistance when lockdown happened nitong March. So since March, we've been doing so many webinar sessions, many free online training in the form of massive open online courses. So probably, may nag-feedback, mahina daw yung audio ko. Sir Ruel, okay na po ba ang audio? Is it okay now? So as I mentioned, since the lockdown, which happened early this year, we've been doing many webinar sessions. Sabi nga ni Doc Filma kanina, I've lost count already as to how many webinar sessions we have conducted to help SUCs and other HEIs in doing online teaching and learning. And as I have mentioned, probably some of you already became participants in some of the webinar sessions and in some of the free online training that we have implemented since the lockdown in March. So later I will also be providing you with additional information about those training program. In the event that you still want you still want to know more about online teaching, because in those courses, in those free online courses, not only the mode of instructional delivery are discussed, but also how you conduct assessment, everything from selecting the kind of instructional delivery that is within your context. Lahat po yon ay pinag-uusapan doon sa and in detail ang and you will also be given the opportunity to apply what is being taught in many webinar sessions that we have conducted. So muli magandang umaga, and yes, it is 9 o'clock. So at this point, allow me to share my slides, which will be my guide in the presentation. During the presentation, feel free kasi may mga breaks naman tayo in between. Feel free to be asking questions using your chat box, and I hope that towards the later part of our webinar session, you will also be given the opportunity to share, ask question, kung kakayanin po na mabigyan din kayo ng opportunity na magsalita and share what you've been doing, share your apprehensions, share your the challenges that you think you will face in this mode of conducting the review classes. Then feel free to do so. I hope we will have time to do that. Okay, so let me share my slides. Okay, so as introduced earlier, I am from the University of the Philippines Open University, and I've been part of that university even before it started, when it was still part of UPLB, and then we became autonomous unit of UP in 1995. So if most of the things that I will be sharing with you this morning and in the coming days will be coming from my own experience teaching in this mode of instructional delivery, and of course results of research that I have conducted. So it's a blending. It's a blending of the experience that we've had at UP Open University and the research, what other educators have experienced in this mode of instructional delivery. So pinagsama-sama ko po ang lahat ng yon in sharing with you how we can do this online review class for our agriculture graduates who are planning to take the licensure exam. Okay, so this is the schedule that was given to me, and I think this is for my part in the training programs. As I have mentioned, this morning it will be for Group 1, which is Animal Science, and for the information also of those who are with us from the Animal Science group. I also worked at the Animal Science from 1990 until 1994. That's when I transferred to the then distance education program of UPLB. So si Dean Pids, makakasama pa kami ng mga yan noon. And I think Dr. Romel Solabo, ang kasama ko pa ay ang, I think, yung tatay mo at the Animal Science at the Extension Unit of Animal Science at the time. And then this afternoon, it will be for the Economics Group. And then on 14, it's Ag Extension in the morning, and then in the afternoon, it's for the Crop Science. October 15 is for Crop Protection, and October 19 is for the group coming from the Soil Science. So as I have mentioned earlier, I am also thankful to our colleagues at the ACAP because I was able to give my schedule, and you were also able to accommodate this schedule because medyo nagkakahirapan sa schedule ngayon. Hopefully wala nang masasagasaan na schedule dito sa nakalinya na sa atin. So okay, So just to provide us with a context of what we will be doing, what we are supposed to do, and what will be our goal, the outcome that we want to see at the end of this exercise. So for this particular training, what is our objective? In For me, the teaching objective is I will give lectures, I will give inputs, which will be used as your basis to design and develop online lecture for each of the subject matter areas. So yun yung mga binanggit ko kanina, no? So that's my objective. So I will be giving inputs to enable you, which is our learning outcome. Enable you, the teacher participants, to design, develop online review materials and deliver online review sessions for our prospective exam takers. So yun yung konteksto. This is what I will do to enable you to do that, but on your end, you will be developing materials, online review materials, and delivering these online review sessions with this outcome in mind, that our prospective takers will pass the licensure exam. So magkakaiba yung ano natin, magkaiba yung objective natin. Me is to enable you, and you should design your materials and deliver the review sessions for the learning outcome, which is passing the licensure exam. So we have to keep that in mind. And our